What's up, my chops and hops family? Good to see all you guys this evening, man. So, quick sound check. I guess you guys can hear me just fine. I know we had some mic problems a couple of weeks ago, but I think I solved that issue. So, awesome to see all of you guys on here tonight. Man, it's great, great, great. So, what the song you guys just heard, the name of the song is actually called Mental. Like, mental. But it's the interesting thing about that song is, well, there's two interesting things about it I want to share with you real quick before we kick off. Number one is it's a song that I actually wrote, oh my God, a long time ago. And I know I shared something on Instagram earlier today, and Facebook with the lyrics that I'd written like in 2010 or 11, which ended up being on my latest album. But the song I just played for you just now, that riff, I wrote this back, dude, I want to say it was probably back in like 1995 or 96 or maybe 98 or something like that. It was a long time ago. The second thing I want to tell you about this song is it's mental, and it's going to be on the new album Overcometh. So what you guys just heard, that's on there. I do have Cameron's drum tracks. That was not Cameron's drums. That was actually a drum. That was another drummer did that. But I've got Cameron's drums. I just have not pulled them into the studio quite yet because there's some things I have to do with those files first. So you guys, I'll share that. I'll be sharing a lot of this new album with you guys. Coming up here. So yeah, 95 Faceless. I guess I was actually 95. Man, I'm trying to think if I was making. Oh, I got married the first time in '95. I was making bad decisions in '95. That was horrible. Acoustic, I didn't know you were retired, dude. That's awesome. Being retired is cool. I am not retired, by the way. Um, I am like complete opposite from retired. I work 12-hour days doing what I do here, but I'm thankful for that, though. I'm extremely thankful for that. So Derpy Squirrel said, "You bought the Ride the Lightning album for $5, dude." Yeah, I would have gotten that too. I don't care if it's cassette, CD, whatever. Any Metallica album that's $5, I'll buy it even if I already have it. Especially their old stuff. I won't buy their new stuff. Oh man. So real quick, guys. Before we kick tonight off, so first of all, I want to let you guys know, yes, I am working diligently on this new album. I'm going to be talking about that a lot, not tonight, but just, in social media and probably in YouTube, just upcoming. So I hope you guys don't get tired of hearing about it. I'm going to share with as many clips as I possibly can with you guys on like Instagram and Facebook and that sort of thing. And the thing, what I'm doing is I'm gonna kick off a crowdfunding campaign for this. So part of that funding campaign is going to be what I have here. I have the super chat available on here. If you guys want to donate to that, that's awesome. I know some of you have already. You can donate to that. That money goes. It's actually going to go straight to my drummer right now, but it goes straight into the production cost of this new album. It's pretty penny what I'm going to be spending on this thing because I want this to be really great. If you guys don't want to do the super chat on here, but you do want to donate, I've got a PayPal link in the YouTube description of this video. That's actually in all my videos, so feel free to drop something in there if you can. And I'm not going to judge you if you don't, but all the proceeds go to the production cost of this album coming up. So, all right, guys. So I wanted to talk to you about one thing tonight, and that is pickups. I don't think I shared this with you guys yet, so let me put this guitar down real quick. So, you guys know I have the Ibanez. Where's it at? It's right here. I know I shared this quite a bit with you guys. I've got this Ibanez RG1570 guitar. It's a Prestige. It's a nice guitar, but we've talked about this in the past. I've got the old V7, V8 pickups in here. And I think most of you agree, these aren't the greatest pickups. So, my good friend Tom sent me something in the mail the other day. He sent me this. and I can't remember if I shared this with you guys or not, but I've got the DiMarzio. I have got what this is the tone zone pickup here. That's the tone zone. So I'm gonna be changing that out soon on my Ibanez guitar, and I also ordered. If I shared this with you, I can't remember if I shared this with you guys or not, but I also ordered the Aaron Norton pickup, the DiMarzio Aaron Norton pickup that kind of goes with this pickup here. DiMarzio is actually their shop is just now coming back up. So you know what? That's a good question, Faceless. My buddy told me, dude, but I don't remember what he told me to be honest with you. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up real quick because I've got it. I've got it in a text message here because I was asking him that. Let me see if I can pull this up. So again, this is the tone zone, okay? Dude. Okay, the tone zone is the bridge pickup. So this is the bridge pickup, all right? And the Air Norton that I have ordered, like I paid for it already, it's coming in. That will be the neck pickup. So I'm really, really excited about changing those out because I've been battling with the V7 and V8 pickups for years now. And there's times where I'm like, man, I'm not ever gonna change these out. But then there's other times, like recently, like, well, I need to change these out because they just don't cut it for what I want to do. They've got some real nice clean tones, but man, they're just like I have no issue playing passive pickups, but they're just too weak. So I'm gonna let you guys have it. Passive or active pickups for metal. I know a lot of you are gonna say active pickups, but I want to hear from those of you who play with passive pickups. I want you to tell me if you have a passive pickup, what you have, and what are some things you like about it, and what are some things you don't like about it. Go. I'm reading. Okay, Alex, you so I and I'm sorry I missed some of the comments because I was talking too much. But okay, so Alex, you say passives all the way. You got a super distortion in your Les Paul bridge position, plus you don't have to worry about the batteries. That's a good point. I'm a huge fan of not having to deal with a lot of stuff like that, which is why the next guitar I buy will not have a Floyd or floating tremolo. Okay, so Derby, you said you're looking for an Ibanez. Hey Jackson, you're not settling for a Jackson, dude. Jackson's great. Jackson makes some great guitars, dude. I started out with a Jackson, and I wish I had one now. I wish I still had that. Awesome. DW did some exterminating. DW, I got to do some exterminating too, man. I saw some ants on the patio, so I've got to do that too. I cut my grass today, and I jumped in the pool and read for a little bit, but then I saw a couple ants, so I've got to do all that. Florida living, man. When you live in Florida, dude, you're gonna have bugs. It's just part of it. Okay, acoustic passive pickups in your Ibanez. Okay, and active. Yeah, of course the M1000 has the active pickups. You probably have the EMG pickups in that acoustic, I would imagine. Acoustic. What passive pickups do you have in your Ibanez? Do you have the stock pickups, or do you have? Did you upgrade the pickups? I'm curious about that. Paul doesn't know. Paul's asking does an overdrive fix an overdrive pedal fix the stock pickups? That's a good question, man. I'm gonna say no, not really, because I look at the pickup as being just like a really crucial part of the chain, and excuse me, if that's not up to par, then kind of everything else after that's gonna suffer. Sorry, I've got dirt in my mouth from mowing the yard today. Man, forget Corona mask. I do wear a Corona mask everywhere I go, but I need to wear those things for cutting grass because I breathe in a lot of shit when I do that. So anyway, so no, Paul, I would say an overdrive pedal is not really going to fix the stock pickups. It will help if that's what you have to work with. It will definitely help a little bit, but I don't know that it will fix it per se. Because those and I tested that theory too. I tested that theory with my EVH amp. I had this guitar, and the thing with this EVH amp here is I don't really need an overdrive pedal for the high gain channel on this amp, and actually the overdrive pedal takes away from the tone, whereas the overdrive pedal usually adds and cleans up the tone on high gain amps. But this amp distortion is so phenomenal, it actually takes away from it. So But I tested the theory with my Ibanez, and I put the distortion pedal on because the Ibanez pickups are so weak. And I cranked it a little bit. I'm like, it just didn't sound right, you know. So my answer to that question, Paul, is no. It doesn't really fix it, man. DW prefers active, but passives are good too. Passive pickups can have some great cleans. Yes, DW, right. Um, and yeah, the passive pickups have really good cleans. I've never heard an active pickup that had, you know, phenomenal cleans, but I know that's not what they're made for. You know, so like when it's one thing when you're recording in the studio, like if you're writing your own song, you're recording, and you know you can mix and match guitars. I'm like, I'm gonna play the clean track with this guitar with passive pickups. I'm gonna play this sort of tracks with this guitar. But if you're on stage playing in a band or something like that, you know, you're probably just gonna have the one guitar up there for that if that song has clean and, you know, and distortion. But a lot of times when you're playing super heavy stuff, if you have to go clean for a little bit, it doesn't, you know, people aren't gonna throw stuff at you if the clean channel doesn't sound great. You know what I mean? Um, Faceless loves the EMGs. I do too, man. Faceless, I do love the EMGs. Are just they're so hot, dude. They're so just, you know, they're so sensitive, like all of us. But so Faceless, so you like the Duncan Solars, okay? And you're saying the Duncan Solars blows them out of the water because they're much tighter. That's very interesting. You've got me, Faceless. You've got me wanting to get rid of my, and I'm not getting rid of it, but you've got me wanting to get rid of my current seven string and buy a Solar seven string, dude. And Faceless, thank you, by the way. You kind of talked me out of getting rid of this thing, dude. You said you left Faceless. You left a comment on one of my, I think it was one of my Instagram posts. Is, you know, don't. I was struggling with getting rid of my seven string. I was just ready to kind of throw it away and go back to and just go back to classic thrash metal playing with my six string. But you know, you said something in one of those posts is like, hey man, don't, you know, don't get rid of that thing that diversifies you. You know what I mean? So thank you for that. That was kind of like a kind of helped push me, get me through that little drama I was going through with my seven string. The only drama I have in life, guys, is sometimes in the studio. It's like, I love you. No, I don't love you. Yes, I do. You know, that's my drama. But anyway, I've been just playing the hell out of this guitar lately, though. Um, just trying to get, you know, more accustomed to it. Fishman, Liam says Fishman Fluence is a good brand. I have yet to play through a Fishman, but I've been hearing a lot of good things about them. So I'd be interested in playing through one of those. But yeah, oh Liam, yeah, you want the humbucker and the Les Paul, man. Yep. Yeah, Alex, that DiMarzio, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I'm ready to get those switched out, dude. Sorry guys, I'm just catching up here. I'm way behind. Derby Squirtle Boy. So it sounds like Derby may be new at getting guitars, so maybe you guys can kind of help him out and lead him in the right direction. You know, so like tell us some of the specific things you want to know. Because I'll tell you, Derby, I'll tell you one thing about this group. This group of all of the people in this group are just amazing people. They're all awesome, and they'll jump in and help. Man, that's what I love about you guys. Our little family here. You know, we always are watching out for one another and willing to help each other out. So that's really phenomenal. So, yeah, guys, give him some advice if you don't mind. Alex, you played your friend Schecter. Yeah, I've never played a Hellraiser. I played a Schecter a long, long time ago, man, and I didn't care for it when I played it. I didn't play Hellraiser, but I didn't care for Schecter when I first played it. But this is back in the '90s, man. This is like back in the early '90s, I think, when Schecter was just coming out. And but then I saw Jeff Loomis playing a Schecter, and my thoughts changed on that because I love Jeff Loomis. He's awesome, man. I'd love to play a Hellraiser. Yeah, Jay Axman, the active in ESPs, dude. Yeah, the and passive in the Ibanez and Les Paul. Yeah, I guess the Les Paul. You don't Les Paul and their stock pickups are pretty awesome anyway. So I don't think you need to change those out. Faceless, that's a good question, dude. The volume pot. I think that was already changed before my friend sold the guitar to me. I have to confirm that. I think that was already changed though. There's another name my buddy told me, and he's like, I think I did that And I can't remember the other name he told me right now, dude. The Vox and Plug have different pickup tones. Now Liam mentions a Vox plug-in to have different pickup tones. I am just Man, I'm just separating myself from plugins lately. I still play through them. I was playing through one just now. The only plugin I'm playing through right now is Bias Amp 2 and FX2. And it's just because I've dialed in a really nice tight tone with that plugin, and it's one I like. And it's what I've been recording the initial tracks to my album with. I'm going to go back and re-record the rhythms with an amp later, probably in the next week or so. And I'm also using Bias Amp 2 and Bias FX together for the Flow Bros project. Some of you know I'm in another band. I've got another band that's more like an 80s rock style. And I think I shared something earlier this week on that. So I'm using Bias FX for that as well. So I'm just so comfortable with that plugin. I know there's so many plugins out there, and I've tried a bunch of them, and I'm so tired of trying them. I'm just going to use what I have because it's good. It does the trick. All right. All right. Thank you guys. You guys are helping Derby out, man. Thank you. Raymond's here. Raymond's drinking Budweiser. So, beer. I forgot to share this with you guys. Thank you, Raymond, for reminding me, dude. I'm drinking Night Schwelm. This is a porter, and it's from Coppertail Brewing. I've probably shared this on here before. Hey, Hold My Beer. What's up, dude? I love that name, man. I absolutely love that name. So, Hold My Beer is asking me if Bias FX2 Elite comes with Celestian IRs. Yes, it does. And it's awesome. Um, I have a blog post to go to, man. Let me find this real quick. I'm always posting links for you guys because I blog a lot too, because the blog posts, I can go back and update those, whereas videos, I can't quite do that. But in the blog post, and you guys who read my blog post, I usually write one every 2 weeks. I do put videos. I embed the videos in there as well. So let me find this article for you real quick, because this is a really helpful article. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff in here. Um, I've just got to find it. Where the hell's this thing at, man? I've got more. Okay, here we go. All right, Bias FX. There you go. So I just put it out there. All right, catching up here, guys. But yeah, back to the beer. Night Schwim. Okay, cool. So Alex, you say your SE7 Pro PRS stock. Yeah, the PRS they have good pickups in their guitars, dude. I played my buddies about a month ago. Oh, Guitar Center's closed, dude. That sucks, man. The beers. DW's drinking Gatorade. Yeah, you got to replenish, dude. That southern heat is rough. I mowed the yard at like 3 o'clock today, dude. And 3 o'clock in Florida weather. And Raymond, you're down in Miami, dude. Yeah, so yeah, you don't, man, if you didn't have AC in this area, you're in trouble. AC is it. Okay, good, guys. All right, look how dark this beer. Since we're talking about metal and metal is dark, well, so is my beer. Look at this, guys. It's like motor oil. If you want to post what you're drinking now, I know a few of you have. It is Chops and Hops. I know we got somebody drinking air. we got, I think we got a Bud Light in there, and we got somebody drinking Gatorade, replenishing. So, guys, cheers. Thank you all for coming on. Derby, the Kill 'Em All sounds good, man. The Kill 'Em All album though, that sounds a very old, vintagey sound. I think James Hetfield used a hot rodded Marshall for that, and that's so far away from any of the modern metal tones, really far away from it. So, if you want to get that type of tone and you're going to buy an amp, just make sure you're okay with that type of tone because you're probably not going to get a lot of the modern metal styles out of that. So I'd hate to see you be disappointed with that. You know what I mean? Now I love my EVH amp because I can just about get any tone that I want at least. The Kilt beer. Liam, you're too young to drink beer, dude. The PRS 59 and '09. I don't remember what my buddy Brian had on his man, or has on his rather, and he actually bought another PRS. He was I was watching his band play live last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, and they sounded really good. And he broke out another new PRS, and it just sounds they're just good guitars, dude. Like they're good. Yeah, Raymond, this is dark stuff, dude. Darkness imprisoning me. All that I see. Hmm. Okay, Faceless. The green one has the 5909. Okay, that's right, because I did a video on that. I should remember this stuff, dude. I totally don't. That was a nice guitar. The thing I didn't like about those style of guitars are the necks are so thick. They're like a baseball bat thick, and that just doesn't work. That just doesn't work good for me. But yes, you're right. They're super diverse. I could play metal with that guitar, and I can play clean stuff. I don't play jazz, but I could play jazz on that guitar if I want. I mean, I could play anything, country, whatever. That guitar would probably give me any tone I wanted. Which I kind of want a guitar like that because, like I said, I'm in this other kind of like an '80s act here, and it's more '80s rock, but there's some stuff that's really not that rock at all. There's some stuff that's more, I don't know, I don't even know what it's called. We'll wait for people to tell us what it is. That's usually what happens. We're just putting stuff out there, whatever we write together. That's just what it is. You know. Yeah, Liam James Hetfield later used a Mesa, the Mark Five, but for for killing for puppets, for puppets he used that Mesa. I think that's when they switched. I know for the prior albums they had a hot rodded Marshall though. He had somebody hot rod it for him. What that means I don't know. I guess put different tubes in, maybe change some of the circuitry. That's all that stuff that it's like way over my head, man. So Liam play some jazz. Derpy says, "How do you replicate Tony? Yeah, that fuzzy sound. You just get a real old amp and a fuzz pedal, dude. Like I think the amps that we have out there now for modern metal aren't gonna recapture that sound. Not to say you couldn't get it from. I think a lot of though Tony's playing, Tony Lemmy's playing was really just in his style of playing. I don't think it had so much to do with the amp as it did with just his personal style of playing. I think he would sound like him with any amp. I don't think it would matter what he played through. The Jackson. I'd love to play through a Jackson 7 string. I played through one. I played through. It wasn't Chris Broderick's signature Jackson, but it was like the one right below that, and I didn't care for it, and I didn't get a chance to play through his, which I wish I would have because I would have probably liked that one. Paul, Amplitude's. I'm a fan of Amplitude, dude. Amplitude, dude. That was a nice rhyme. We're rappers now. No, but I have Amplitude 3, and they came out with 4 a while ago, man. And I never upgraded because at that point I discovered Bias, and I started playing through that more. And again, the thing is, I don't personally want to own 50 different plugins because I'm only going to use them in certain times. I mean, I use the hell out of plugins to record videos on YouTube and social media. That's what I use, but and I'll use them for ambient sounds because I'm dude with Bias FX2. I am getting, and you can get it with Amplitude as well. You can get some amazing like ambient style tones from that, and then the reverbs they have in there is just like wow. And actually, I get good reverb tones, spacey tones from my Pod HD 500. you know. The beauty of plugins though is if you don't like that reverb setting or whatever later, you can go back and change it. So it's kind of smart to work with plugins in that regard. So you're not locked into something that, may not sound good later once you get more into the mix. Schecter Hellraiser. I really want to play a Hellraiser. All these years, and I would love to play one. All right, Derby. See you, dude. Good luck, man. Keep playing. Never give up. Liam has latency issues. That could be a few different things, man. It could be your PC, your computer you're using, the CPU may not be powerful enough. Could be a RAM issue. It's going to be CPU over RAM. What's up, Mike? Brother Mike's on. I got to share the beer with Mike. Mike, I wish I could give you a virtual taste. This is Coppertail's Night Swim, dude. It's a dark porter, as you can see. This is good shit, dude. Really, really good beer. But yeah, that's the thing with plugins, man. Now, I will say this: there's certain interfaces out there that you can buy. I think Apollo's one, and I think my buddy Ken uses Antelope. And these interfaces actually they process the plugins in the interface so it doesn't affect your CPU usage. So I think that's pretty awesome. I've actually considered changing my interface out for that reason. So Faceless, your Mac is 2011. Mine's 2013. That's the one behind you that you see right here. That's a 2013. I've got 16 gigs of RAM. It's an i7 processor, so it's up there. However, I just upgraded Studio One, PreSonus Studio One, from 3 to 5. I somehow missed 4 in there somewhere, but because you have to pay for those upgrades, so I upgraded it, and I was like, well, it's like starting to really drag down now, so I don't know what's going on. But yeah, I don't know how many cores. I have to look at it, dude. I'm horrible at memorizing this kind of stuff. Like I get the computer, I'm like, I usually tell people what I'm looking for. I went to the Apple store. They're really helpful, and it's been great all these years. It's been amazing. It's just recently where it started to kind of drag me down. Mike, I've thought about switching to Reaper, dude. I truly have. I've thought about switching to Reaper, because like I said, Studio One 5, it is dragging my computer down, dude. It's just everything's super slow, and it was kind of slowing down before, but not near what it is now. So I don't know what's going on. I've got to figure it out soon because I'm recording 2 albums with 2 different projects right now. My solo album and then the Flow Bros, I'm recording that as well. So ugh. Raymond, you got the degree in computer science? Dude, I wanted to get a degree in that. Thank you, Liam. Yes, guys, please hit the like button if you think about it. Thank you. All right, Acoustic does Reaper too. Mike, you're running 16 gigabytes on Windows PC. Okay, so that's cool. That's good to know. I seriously have thought about switching. I've seen, okay, Nas, you use Reaper too. Damn. It might be time to switch, and I just paid $150 to upgrade Studio One so it could drag my computer down. Jeez, all you guys use Reaper. That's awesome, man. Wow. 32 is best, 64 is beast. Okay. You guys have me thinking about it, man. I can't really, I don't want to do anything right this moment because, like I said, I'm in the middle of 2 albums. So I don't want to have to mess with moving files and all that crap right now. The good thing is the Flow Bros album, the project I'm in with my buddy, we're actually going to record our album tracks in a studio in Clearwater. Mike, you may know the guy, Ronnie D. He owns All Access Recording in Clearwater, right over the Clearwater Bridge there. So, but I am thinking about Reaper. I really am. And I've seen Glenn Fricker from Spectra Sound. He's been advertising the crap out of that because he has like a how-to thing on it. So I'm actually gonna write PreSonus tomorrow and just tell them that, hey guys, everything's working fine, but when I downloaded your new Studio One 5, everything is slow. Can you please help? So I'll do that before I make any jumps, to anything else. Because I like Studio One. I mean, I've used Studio One for, geez, since like 2010, 2009, whatever year I bought it. And I like the workflow. I know it fairly well, but I've always heard Reaper's great. So I don't know. We'll see. Mike Cakewalk. I've heard from other people. I don't. I've heard from other people that's a pain to work with Cakewalk. And I don't know anything about it. I couldn't. I have no clue. I've never used it before. But I assume Reaper. You're very much happier with Reaper than you were with Cakewalk. Oh man, nice. Hot Pole Studios. Acoustic says Adam Still with Hot Pole Studios will walk you through Reaper. Yeah, dude. So you can see this. I mean, it's nothing. I think a lot of studios look the same these days, but that's the doll. If you guys can see that. Can I zoom in on this? Let's see. I can. Oh, hope I don't have any boogers. But now you guys can see that a little bit better. Anyway, I'll go back to normal here. But yeah, the workflow, like I said, the workflow in Studio One, PreSonus Studio One, is great. I mean, like I said, I can do pretty much everything with it, and I've probably only tapped into 20% of everything you can do. So you know what I mean. The Pornhub logo. Yeah, what is the deal with Pornhub, Faceless? Because I see Pornhub all over the place now. Everybody. I was watching a Thai video. My wife and I watch Thai videos a lot, and they have Pornhub shirts. I'm like, okay, this is like, these people were blowing up. Brother Dell, self-publishing with Dell is in the house. What's up, dude? It's funny how Dell and I met, man. I was looking for help to publish a book. You guys know Heavy Metal and Weights. I published that on Amazon in 2017, December 2017, and I just stumbled upon one of Dale's self-publishing with Dale's videos, and then I was like, dude, thank you for this advice, because like one of his videos, I'm like, okay, I know what to do. I'm on it, And then he looked at my channel, saw I play guitar, he plays guitar, and the rest is history. So thanks for coming on, Dale. Yeah, dude, we've known each other since probably 2000, probably early 2017, Dale, or maybe even the end of 2016. I'm not really sure. Yeah, Raymond, that's a good point. Porn with COVID-19, I don't know about that. It's kind of like a buy one, get one free. You get herpes and COVID all in one. you know? Oh, boy. So let's see. Hold my beer. Does anybody have an opinion on AKG K240s? Just bought them without doing any research. Yeah. Hold my beer. I don't know about that. You guys might have to speak about the AKG K240s. I've never used those before, man. DW, you got ideas in the works? Good. You've got a song titled "Sweat and Gasoline," a Southern groove metal song. That's interesting because I have not heard anything come out with that. That's a really unique genre, dude, subgenre. So go with it, man. Run with it. Do it. Put it out there. Paul, to add material and stay in focused. Um, I'm gonna be putting some more stuff out there in the. I don't want to call it self help because I just don't like that term. Uh, I'm a big believer, not so much in self help, but really interdependence on one another. You know what I mean? But I did put a motivational video out there, last week. Most of you guys saw that. I tried to deadlift a weight that I'd never deadlifted before. I was trying to break a personal record, and I failed. and I shared that video with you guys because it was just an important, important thing that I thought, it would help you guys, help me anyway. That failure is okay. Not worrying about what people think. So I'm gonna put some more stuff out there like that. I got a really good response from that video, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna start doing some more of that. I love the Metal Motivator though. CJ Ortiz. I'm actually a friend of his. Um, he hosts a program. I'm an elite student of what's called Savvy Musician Academy, and he hosts that. So him and I get to connect on a weekly basis, which is really cool. But I do plan to put some more stuff out there like that. Brother Dale, yeah, it was like yesterday, dude. Dale, I'm the same way. I don't check out most channels. I don't have time, and I know you don't have time. Self-publishing with Dale, he's a entrepreneur. So when you work for yourself, you work more. And Mike, you know this too. Mike, you're an entrepreneur. When you work for yourself, you're you're gonna work harder and more than you will for anyone else. That's just how it goes. That's why you have to love what you do. So Alex, you're a bedroom player and you use GarageBand on your iPad. Nothing wrong with that, brother. It's guitar. Like I tell people this, I've been telling more people this lately. It's like not everybody has to want to put out an album or be on stage or whatever. Guitar is just a really awesome outlet and hobby as well, and you get just as much fulfillment out of that. So that's good, dude. Liam, I don't know about Megadeth pickups, dude. I'd like to know that. If anybody knows, help us out. I love heavy metal rules. Nice, dude. I'm good, brother. So, Mike, you bought. Oh, Mike, that's a good idea, dude. So, you bought a 42-inch TV for monitor. It's funny because the studio I was in last week, actually last Friday, I was in a all access recording in Clearwater. And now this is a pro studio. This is nothing like the room I'm in. He's got like a full, probably 8,000 square feet studio, but he had a huge screen up there, and he had it in all of his rooms, like every room that had a computer, because he had different setups for different types of bands and music. He had a huge screen up top. I'm like, okay, I think I need one of these now. So that was awesome. Neck cheese, what's up? Neck cheese. That sounds kind of bad, dude. I love heavy metal. Am I a fan of Mayhem or Burzum? I don't know who Burzum is. I haven't really listened to Mayhem that much. A little bit. Probably not enough to be a fan. I just haven't dug into them that much, dude. Hold my beer. Buy SFX2 Elite. Yeah, it comes with the Celestian IRs, man. So, but look, hold my beer. The best thing you can do if you have questions about something is reach out to the manufacturer first before you buy it, dude. Ask the people that make the product, man. Don't take my word for it or anybody else's for that matter. Because listen, man, companies change all the time. Like when I bought it, they didn't give it, but the Celestian IRs came with it. But they could have changed that. I don't think they have, but I don't know for certain. So, dude, before you buy something, just contact the manufacturer. Find out. I've learned this lesson the hard way many times. You're listening to a very old and sort of wise dude. you know, always check with the source, dude. I mean, we help each other out as much as we can in here, but if you're gonna spend money on something, it's always good to check with the source. So hopefully that makes sense. Faceless vocals, yes, dude. Throw something out there on IG, Faceless. If you're okay with that. Yeah, Mike, the old eyes. That's why this is a 27 inch, but even still, dude, sometimes I have a hard time looking at this stuff. If I had something big up there, that would make a huge difference, man. Yeah, hold my beer. If they're offline, dude, just send them an email. Just ask them all the right questions first before you buy it, because like I said, you don't want to spend money on something and thinking that you're going to get this, and that, but you know. Brother Mike, the RG6528HM. So, Mike, I'm glad you brought up the tone zone, dude. I'm showing this to Mike. So I've got another pickup coming in a couple of weeks. DiMarzio, because of COVID, they shut down their factory, and so they're I guess they're back up and running now, so they're getting stuff out. So you're saying Air Norton, okay? So you, Mike, you don't care for this then? It's blinding there. The tone zone. But yeah, I have an Air Norton as well. I have an Air Norton coming in. 'Cause if I remember right, this is the bridge pickup. Air Norton is the neck, or maybe it's vice versa. I can't remember. Um, Here's my thing, dude. And I know I showed you guys already, but Mike's just coming on. Mike, I want something, and it's kind of too late because I've already bought them, but I just want to replace these V8, V7 pickups because they're just not cutting it, dude. Especially for rock and metal and stuff. They've got some good clean tones to them, but I've had that guitar for so long, and it's like, okay, it's just time to change the pickups, man. I've got to change them out, so I'm gonna do that. Um, and I think the Air Norton and Tone Zone, I think it'll give me, what I'm looking for that's better than what I have now. So hopefully I'm happy with it. If not, well, I'll be stuck with it. But that Ibanez I'll probably mainly use for the little 80s rock project that I'm in right now. You know what I mean? So I'll probably just save it more for that. Alpha Omega pickups, that sounds cool. I love heavy metal. Ask away, dude. Faceless like the Seymours. Neck cheese, cheap stock Ibanez pickup art. Yeah, that's one of the problems with guitars. The guitar manufacturers is like this guitar. This guitar itself is great. I love it. I mean, it plays nice. It fits my hands and my fingers fit on here quite well. And I like the guitar. It's amazing. I mean, I don't want to say it's kind of like standard stock, but I guess it is. It's just a standard Ibanez RG. It's a Prestige, but I love the way it plays. I just need a little upgrade on the pickups, so I'm gonna be happy to see what that sounds like. I've heard good things about bare knuckle pickups, faceless. I was reading about them in one of the magazines, one of the recent magazines I got. Oh, thank you. I love heavy metal. Before you go back to school after COVID, you want to build some muscle. You're real skinny and people think you're a girl, so please help. Yeah, dude. I mean, what Faceless is saying is eat more. That's where I'll tell you where I went because I was very very skinny when I graduated high school in 1993 at about 130 pounds. So I was a skinny kid. I got picked on a lot, all that yada yada, and I started lifting weights when I was 14. But I didn't really dig into the nutrition. So if you want to build, if you want to get bigger, if you want to get bigger, stronger, the whole nine yards, there's two things you need to do: eat a shitload of food, and you need to learn how to properly lift the heavy compound movements. You've got to squat, you've got to deadlift, you've got to do the heavy bench press and heavy overhead press and barbell rows. If you do those 5 exercises, and Big Mike Olson on here can attest to this as well, focus on that first. You can get more into the bodybuilding stuff later, okay? But you've got to build that foundation of strength. I preach this stuff, man, because this is what I did not do, and this is why I didn't gain as much mass as I could have in the beginning. Because when you're young, it's very very crucial it's extremely crucial to build that foundation, because you've got that short window of time when you're young where you can really make some substantial gains. So that's just from my personal experience and from many people that are in the bodybuilding community that I've befriended over the years. So anyway, but yeah, you gotta eat, and you gotta lift heavy in the beginning. And when I say lift heavy, I don't mean one rep on everything to the point where you're lifting with poor form and hurting yourself. I mean, learn how to properly squat. Learn how to properly do squats. Learn how to properly deadlift. Those two exercises are going to pack on a buttload of mass, and then learn how to do that for a year. Power lift for a year. A lot of people will disagree with me on this, but power lift for a year to build that solid foundation. Then you can start adding in the bodybuilding techniques if you want to, because for building the muscle tissue you need reps, you know, you need the resistance too. Don't let people fool you. Some people say, well, you gotta lift super light weights, and no, that doesn't work. I'm sorry. That works if you want like a GQ model, a skinny GQ model. But you know, if you want to build muscle, if you want to get big, you've got to build the foundation. And yeah, faceless, you nailed it. Don't never skip leg. I do 2 leg days now, guys. I squat twice a week now. Yeah, Mike nailed it. You know, deadlifts and squats are that's the best overall mass building exercises you can do. You're gonna pack on a lot of mass. So, you know. EMG pickups with a PV6505 boosted with the metal zone sounds amazing. That's interesting, dude. I don't know, man. I don't know if you need that metal zone with the 6505 unless you're playing at lower volumes. You know, if you're playing at lower volumes, yeah, you probably need that. Nice. But I'm glad you're into training, you know. The cover on the tremolo. What guitar is that, Raymond? Are you talking about this here, dude? The back? What? No, I took it off too because I screwed this up a long time ago and I fixed it. So I took it off and I actually don't know where that plate is. It's in my studio somewhere. I gotta put this back on though. There's no reason for it though. Vafa, what's up, dude? You've been putting out some great content lately, by the way, man. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of videos, but I caught one of your vids a while back, last week actually, and that was really cool. So good job on that. Yep, Mike, nutrition. Yeah, the thing about nutrition, man, is you know eating. You've got to figure out what nutrients that your body. I mean, there's some standard nutrients that all of our body needs, but everyone responds differently to different diets, and it's just you got to find out what works for you. But if you're young and skinny, you know, I would say you know you do need the healthy fats in there. You do need plenty of protein. You need all of it, dude. You need carbs, fats, and protein. Do not let anyone ever talk you into going on some stupid keto or vegan or whatever. I mean, those work great for some people, but if you're trying to gain mass, you've got to just eat, dude. You eat like a horse. Eat like a horse. Yeah, your veins are popping out probably just because you're lean, dude, and you've got good blood flow. That's really all it is. I mean, you've got, you know, that's just a blood flow thing. And sometimes veins are genetic as well. I mean, I've known, you know, bodybuilders with 5% body fat that you can't hardly see their veins because they're buried. It's just a lot of that's genetic, man. Yeah, DW, use the pandemic to your advantage. I always tell people that, man. I hear a lot of people complaining just out and about, and I'm like, well, you know, what are you making out of it? This whole thing going on right now. You gotta, you know, use this time to study. If you got laid off for your job, then learn a new skill. You know what I mean? Do something. Don't not do nothing. You know, dude, Mike, the Zach EMGs. Wow, I'd like to hear those, man. Zach Wow's EMGs. Those have to be awesome. Sweetest death metal. Yeah, dude. Sweetest death metal was cool. Vafa. Yeah, sometimes Vafa's just asking me a deadlift question. I mean, you know, I'm not a power lifter for one, and this is where I failed in the beginning, and that's why I was telling Heavy Metal Rules guy here, you know, when you're young, power lift, eat like crazy, and power lift. That's how you're gonna gain. You're building that foundation, you know, and how big and strong you build that foundation will determine a lot of your progress that comes after that. But if you don't build that solid foundation, you're just gonna limit yourself, you know. And actually, self publishing with Dale here is actually a certified trainer as well. So you know, Dale, I know you used to do bodybuilding back in the day and all that stuff, you know, and he's still in really good shape now. But I know you packed on a lot of size back in your days too, Dale. So, you know, yeah, it's I love this stuff. I mean, I know, if you guys get bored talking about weightlifting, let me know. But I could talk about this stuff all night. I love it. I just, more so, I love to see people doing something to just better themselves, to get in shape or whatever it is. I know not everybody's interested in lifting weights. Not everybody's interested in getting big. I don't want to get any bigger than what I am now, and I've never been a huge guy, but I don't. I'm 45 years old, so the days of wanting to be a 275-pound bodybuilder, well, that ship sailed a long time ago. Uh, Now I maintain this little parameter that I have now, and I'm happy with that. I love to eat, and and I like to drink my craft beer. So you'll never see me step on a bodybuilding stage. I like this more than that. So, but I'm always going to lift weights. But I like to see you guys doing something though. Just whether it's running. I know some of you on here, and I don't know if you're on tonight, but practice martial arts. I think that's phenomenal. I mean, that's great. One thing I'll tell you real quick, I'll tell all you guys real quick, and I got my buddy hooked on this too. It's a very cheap supplement called ZMA. It's a patented formula of zinc, magnesium, and vitamin B6. Take that an hour before you go to bed. You will sleep like a baby. Your REM sleep will be awesome, and you'll wake up with a boner, and you'll wake up rested. There you go. That stuff costs like $20 a month. And it's funny because all the supplements that are out there are super expensive, but most of them don't do shit for you. It's like people, hey, take this, bro. You get huge, and you're like, you take it, and you're like, okay, nothing happened. But what a lot of people don't put the training and nutrition first, and that's supplements just supplement that, right? It's not, it's not a oh, dude. Anyway, man, but yeah, ZMA, zinc, magnesium, B6, a very specific patented blend, though. It's and that stuff does wonders, man. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yeah. Dale, so you went from 150 pounds soaking wet, 1999. By the time you got into wrestling, 2002, you're a buck 90. That's good. And then when you got seriously into it, you started taking a serious 225. Yeah. So you have a similar history than I know you're a little bit taller than I am. So we're about the same. I mean, I sit around 225 now and I stay that weight. I got up to 245 at one time, but it wasn't a good, and I was lifting super heavy and just I was actually kind of considering going the bodybuilding route, like doing a show or whatever, but I just decided you know I didn't feel healthy at that weight, so oh dude. Taking it oral is junk food. Big Mike, you were 180, dude. I would have loved to seen that, Mike. Mike, you're 310, but Mike, you're a tall dude too, man, and you carry some good mass. Mike and I were at a Nightwish concert a few years back, and Mike was backing up, and this poor little girl, she was one of the servers. We had our own little suite, at the Nightwish show, real nice. And Mike was backing up for some reason, and the girl's like, "Oh shit, I better hurry!" And she didn't make it in time, and Mike smashed her against the wall. That was funny, dude. I totally remember that. And Mike was like, "Oh shit, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." But Mike is a I don't know what you lift, man, and I'm not gonna get into all that. Hey, what do you lift, bro? What's your bench? But Mike's a big dude, and I know he's got some strength, man. So you can just look at Mike and tell he's a strong dude. It was awesome. Liam went from 90 pounds to 90 pounds. Liam, you're super young though, dude. I remember that. You're a lot of times, man. You can, you know, a lot of times when you're younger, if you just have a really fast metabolism, you're eating and lifting heavy, you might not see the substantial progress until later, but just know that it's a cumulative effect. If you keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, you will get there. If you do it and you're like, oh, it's just not working, and you stop or you do too many changes and get on some weird program or whatever and keep changing things, you're kind of screwed. So that's what I'm saying. You gotta, that whole world. It's very simple, and I think people try to overcomplicate it. I get a little frustrated with the fitness industry because There's always some new fad or some trend. I know some people have to do special diets. I know people, I know a person in particular that vegan works for, for a lot of different reasons. I know some people that have gone on the keto diet and it works for them. It's not something I would do, but whatever. So, but when you're young, assuming you don't have any weird medical issues or whatever, you just eat. Just eat, eat, eat. Eat good food. You know what I mean? Because you can eat shit food all day and get your calorie requirement from shit food, but you might not get the protein requirement you need. So you're going to miss out on certain things that help build the muscle, that help build the connective tissue and this sort of thing. So, eat decent. But when you're young like that and you're trying to gain, you can get away with pizza and stuff like that too. Just not all the time. Just be sensible. All right. So I love heavy metal. My favorite Nightwish album, dude. Oceanborn's a good Nightwish album. It's an awesome Nightwish album. You know. So I'm trying to think. I do love Oceanborn. I like Once. I like. I thought their latest, not the latest album, but the album before that, um, Endless Forms Most Beautiful. I actually like that album. That was their first album with Floor Jansen. I like that album a lot. I have had a hard time getting into this latest album. In fact, I've had such a hard time with it, I haven't really listened to it since. Imaginarium's a good album. I like that album a lot too. That album's got a lot of good songs on it, man. A lot of good songs. I think Floor might be my favorite Nightwish vocalist, but I love them all. They all did just really just phenomenal work for Nightwish. Um, I mean, yeah, in a perfect world, it would be awesome if Tarja was still there. You know what I mean? Because I imagine that was a harsh breakup to be that big of a band, and then to have it not work out for whatever reason. You know, I saw something, Mike, about Floor doing some kind of project, man. I saw a little clip on, I don't remember what platform it's on, but yeah, I mean, that'd be interesting to hear. I hope that doesn't mean she's leaving Nightwish, because she's like, well, my exit strategy here is my solo album. So I hope that's not what's happening. Because I love Nightwish, man. Nightwish like created their own subgenre of metal. Some people call them melodic metal or symphonic metal or whatever you want to call them, but there really isn't. There's bands that sound similar to that genre, but there's really no band that's like that. And this is like every once in a blue moon you get a band that's just it's just a band. You really can't compare them to anybody. You'll have other bands try to sound like them maybe, but you really can't compare them to anyone else. And Nightwish is that band. But yeah, if you told me I couldn't listen to anything else, I had to listen to just one album, I might pick a Nightwish album. I might just. Craig, what's up, dude? Thanks for joining me in. Nice bass work on the Blood Good song that you did, Craig. That was awesome. That's Craig is Project Bass Guitar 777. I don't think many people on here know who Bloodgood is, but that was it was a Christian rock band way back in the day. But they were really good though, man. They had a really good quality sound. Just I mean they were kind of iconic, and it's kind of funny. Had they not been a Christian band, they would have been one of the big bands that you know about. But because they were a Christian band, and that was their choice. They were kind of put off to the side in this little box over here. But anyway, they were just a good quality band. Yeah, Liam, I Jason Newsted did a solo act a long time ago. I thought I haven't. I'm so like behind on new music. I stay in touch with the bands that I really like, but I don't really get an opportunity to like really sit down and listen to stuff. It usually is playing in the background while I'm doing something else. DW, tough question. Overkill or Exodus? I favor Exodus a little bit more just because they, especially their older stuff, they have more of that. Just I don't know. There's just a different sound to them. I do like Overkill though, so that yeah, that's a tough question, but probably the simple fact that I've listened to more Exodus than I have Overkill. You know what I mean? And I think vocally, I prefer Exodus vocals over Overkill. So, but they're both great bands, both really really great bands. So Floor going solo. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I don't know how that turned. It depends on what musicians. This is a hard thing about going solo because yeah, okay, you want to say I want to, especially for singers. If you're a singer and it's like I'm going solo, but you have a whole band doing the music behind you, so it's kind of hard to say it's that's a big determining factor whether you like the music, especially for metal, especially for us. Um, I don't know. It's hard for me to envision just someone who is a singer and it's like I'm going solo. Well, you gotta you gotta give the band some credit too. You know, so I don't know. After Forever, I heard some of their stuff, man. I don't think I got like heavy into After Forever though. Maybe that was why. Well, neck cheese, I don't see how you got away with that, dude. Overkill. That would have been a cool shirt to wear to high school. Yeah, Mike, that's true. I don't know the ins and outs of Nightwish, of their arrangements, of their business. I don't know, man. You think Thomas? What about Impu? Is he isn't? And I would think Marco. I can't remember who the founding people were of that. I guess Thomas was obviously one of them, but I can't remember if Marco and Impu. Marco has their bass player has such a cool look. Like if I could like look like somebody else, I would want to look like Marco. He's got the super long hair, the super cool goatee beard, whatever, and he just looks like a dragon warrior. Just so cool. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fanboy, whatever. But and he's got some solo work too. But I just think he's just a phenomenal just dude. Plus, I like Marco's vocals a lot. I like Marco's vocals also when he comes and sings with Delane, which I think Delane's kind of like a little sister band to Nightwish because they've kind of helped them along the way. So Thomas, yeah, Thomas is the guy. Impu, okay, Impu's the original. Yeah. Liam, the heaviest band ever. I used to be able to answer that question, dude, but I don't really. I couldn't answer that today, man, because heavy has become a relative term. It seems like heavy nowadays is more of how far down can you tune your guitar and just chug. And I don't really think of that as heavy so much. You know what I mean? Just because it's not my style. But so if you're asking me in that regard, what the heaviest band was, I couldn't tell you. But like, I guess one of the heaviest bands to me, it's hard to say, man. It's a really hard question. Like, I don't really, I don't have anything that just comes to mind. Um, Probably the heaviest band to me right now, it would probably be Amon Amarth. I think they're pretty heavy, but I'd have to go back a few albums because their past couple of albums, Berserker and the first Kill, great albums, but they kind of lost some of the edge a little bit. Kind of like what Megadeth did with this latest album, Dystopia. I mean, it's a great album, and I love Kiko's playing, but they've lost a lot of that edge, man. And Dystopia came out, and it's almost like radio rock. It's like American radio rock. So I just wasn't really. Of course, I'm sure. I don't know, and maybe that's what they're going for. Dave Mustaine's not a young guy, so maybe he's trying to capitalize more before he retires, because at some point he's probably going to retire. So I can respect that. You know what I mean? If that's the case, I don't know. Yeah, he is creepy faceless. Very creepy stare, dude. It's demonic. Damon Wolf, yes, I will, dude. I don't think you were on earlier. I'm upgrading to the Tone Zone and the Air Norton pickups for my Ibanez. So the Air Norton is on order though. DiMarzio's behind. Yeah, somebody just mentioned Cannibal Corpse. Cannibal Corpse is they're heavy, dude. They are pretty ridiculous, but they're definitely heavy, man. Now their latest album, what was their latest album, dude? I can't. It was a couple years ago. I was really impressed with that, man. That was good. No cover charge. What's up, dude? Yeah, we're at. I'm not doing the gun show today, but I really I'm in a tank top because I was just lazy. I had to mow the yard earlier around 3 o'clock. You guys know how that is in the Florida heat. And dude, after you mow the yard, you can take a shower and cool down and all that, but it just it takes a while to cool down. So I'm like, well, we're just gonna have to do this in a tank top tonight, man. Okay, they're well in their next CD. Okay, good, good, Mike. That's good to hear. I hope they see. I thought Megadeth's one of Megadeth's better albums that came later. I thought Endgame was really, really good. When I heard Endgame, I'm like, wow, this is awesome. And I liked what was the other one? Abomination, something or other. Uh, a couple more before that that were really good. But I thought Endgame with Chris Broderick, and I'm a big Chris Broderick fan. I think he's a phenomenal guitarist. Yeah, Cannibal Corpse definitely. Liam, when you mentioned Slaughter to Prevail, at first I thought you meant Slaughter, the '80s hair band. I'm like, no, that's not going to be heavy, dude. But I get it. You're talking about another band. Up all night. Oh, dude. Mike says, send them back, dude. That's great. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, dude. I mean, there was something there was something really special about like the first few Metallica albums and the first few Megadeth albums, and it was just there was this mentality of I don't give a crap. I don't give a I don't want to f bomb on camera here, but they just didn't. They didn't care. They're like we're metal, we're loud, and we're just gonna play heavy and fast, and they did, and they were good. Because you had a lot of bands that tried to play heavy and fast and sucked, right? But they were just really, really good, and there's this energy, there's this vibe that came with that, and I don't know. I kind of feel like that's been lost a little bit in most modern metal. And it's not to say things shouldn't change, right? Because you like Master of Puppets, phenomenal album, but you can only make one Master of Puppets album. You can't keep remaking the same album. You've got to morph. You've got to evolve. But there's just an energy that was lost, and I've had a hard time. I've had a hard time finding newer metal that I like. And that doesn't mean it's not good. Okay, that's just my opinion. It's just my taste. Again, I'm an old dude, you know, and that just may be, I'm sure when I was listening to Kill 'Em All back in the day, there were probably some guys that were 10, 20 years older than me thinking, what's that crap? You know what I mean? Because it wasn't what they were used to. So I try to be open minded about it, but I have not found a lot of newer metal bands that I care for. It just a lot of it just sounds the same. Even Killswitch Engage, like when I first heard Killswitch, I'm like, oh my god, what is this? It's new. I love it. Never heard anything like this before. But then their last several albums, it's like to me every song almost sounds the same. It's like, okay, guys, let's play something a little bit different. And it just a lot of albums to me, a lot of new bands to me just sound like that. And I don't know. I was talking to a studio engineer that owns the studio I was at, and we were talking about that. And I think a lot of it has to do with just the upgraded technology. Everything is so perfect. I sat there and watched a studio engineer's like, yeah, the drummer was off right here, so I'm just gonna move this down here. It's like, okay, I get it, but there's so much of that goes on. It's like, look, if you screwed up a little bit, just let it be an organic. If it fits, if it didn't fit, then do it over again. That's kind of the way I see that. When I record guitar tracks, I don't really piece stuff together. If I screw up, you know what? I go back to doing it again. I just do the whole thing again. I've been guilty. I'll punch in sometimes because that's easy, but I'm trying to get away from that when it comes to making albums. I don't want to punch in. If I need to nail it, and if there's some like little nuances in there where I kind of screw up a little bit, something's a little off, I might decide to keep it because that might be the thing that gives the album life. You know what I mean? So that's just kind of my thoughts on that. Yeah, the early Metallica, dude. Rust, Rust in Peace was amazing, dude. Amazing. Trivium, I saw Trivium in concert. I saw them open for, or I'm sorry, Arch Enemy. I don't think they were opening for each other. I think Arch Enemy and Trivium were the headliner. I saw them in Orlando a couple of years ago, Liam, and I like Trivium. I have a lot of respect for Matt Heafy or Heffy, however you pronounce his name, and it's not my favorite band. It's not my favorite style of music, But seeing them live when they were singing and playing, there were some parts that were slightly off a little bit, but it still sounded okay. And it was like, okay, this is just a raw metal band, and I really liked it. And he's a very hard worker, their lead singer, the guy that I guess it started it all. And I was listening to one of his interviews, and sometimes I'll dig into the person a little bit because sometimes that gives me a little bit more respect for the band when I see the person's lifestyle. I don't know, maybe that should or shouldn't be the case, but it does. That's what it does for me. And I'm like, okay, well, this dude, he cares about his the way he perceives people in life, and he cares about his health and all this stuff. He's just not, you know. So I have a lot of respect for Matt Heafy. Really, really a lot. Acoustic, thank you, dude. I'll send that money you just sent me directly to my drummer so he can finish the tracks. Seriously though, dude, thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, hey, if you guys ever want to donate, I'm not pressuring you guys. It's not my style, but I am doing several different types of crowdfunding for this album because I'm dumping quite a bit of money into this. So, um, you know, but yeah, so I got super chat on here. I've got a PayPal link in my description. So all that, anything that's donated at this point, it's going straight to the production of this new album. Which the name of the album is Overcometh. I'll type that in here. That is the name. But yeah, a lot of things are just computerized these days, and I think it's cool what we can do in the studio. I think it's really cool that technology has brought us to this point to where we can do it. I just don't know that we should be doing it all the time, if that makes sense. I mean, I'm going to use plugins in this album because again, there's certain songs that have this real cool ambient effect, and I have yet to be able to replicate that live, or the live amp. So I'm like, well, I'm just gonna keep it in there. The meth connotation. Is that what that is, dude? Mayhem. I haven't really listened to Mayhem that much, dude. Yeah, Mr. Unconventional. When I usually only record two rhythm tracks. I don't like layering too many tracks unless the guitar's doing something different. But I will actually play the second track. So I know I've heard of some people they'll play one track and they'll just duplicate it. That doesn't really do anything. It just makes it louder. But I will actually play the other track, and then a lot of times I'll do some harmonies too, because then you've got the harmonies in both ears, and it's a really really cool sound, really cool. But yeah, I've tried. You guys talking about quad tracking? I've tried quad tracking, and I just didn't. I just didn't care for it. I didn't care for the way it sounded. It just you kind of, in my opinion, it's just my opinion. It doesn't mean anything, but you kind of lose some of the clarity. Now the bands that just chug and play power chords, and like the new metal bands that don't move around a lot, you can quad track, I guess. I don't really see the point, in my opinion. If you get a really good guitar tone into two tracks, and you do that correctly, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it down. But um, when you're riffing, though, if you're playing a lot of riffs, which is what I personally like to do and like to hear, then you're not. Yeah, less is definitely gonna be more because you're gonna end up having a really muddy sound. But again, if you're just playing chords or whatever, that's a different story. Double tracking is what I do these days. And Mike mentioned he does four sometimes. I will do sometimes I'll do free. Sometimes I'll have my right and left guitar. I think I screwed those up. Right, left. We're having problems tonight. And I might have a third rhythm guitar. Sometimes it might come in over here or over there somewhere, but it'll be doing something completely different, you know. Yeah, two. Yeah, hard pan one left, hard pan one right, and then sometimes I'll have that third one doing something else, or I might have a lead come in and like a melodic something come in or whatever. So it just depends, and it depends on the song too. Sometimes I'll treat different songs differently. I mean, sometimes uh, it just depends on what the song is, what the song calls for. Awesome. Well, guys, I need to wrap things up, so I'm gonna go spend some time with my wife, and we're gonna hang out for a little bit before it's bedtime. So, guys, I want to thank all of you for coming on tonight. Acoustic, thank you once again for donating, dude. I really, really appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys, but thank you for that. Guys, I probably will not have Chops and Hops next week. We'll probably do it every other week for a while. I am literally recording two albums right now, one for myself and one for the Flow Bros project. So I won't be on next week live, but you guys will see me on YouTube and social media. So I try to put stuff out every day for you there. But Chops and Hops will not be next week, but the week after that. So we'll probably stick to that for a while. Guys, good night. Keep it metal, and please be safe out there.